Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Kizzy and today we're going to be talking about my most disappointing books of 2020. This is obviously not to say that they are bad books, they're not to say that you will not enjoy them. They are mostly disappointed because I've overhyped them in my head because so many people loved them. Let's get into it. The first book I have is one that was recommended to me, well, not to me personally, recommended to many people on her channel by Murphy Napier, and I would say we have quite similar tastes. She obviously has read a lot more than me. She reads like hundreds of books a year, but she raved about this and loved it, and I thought I would love it too. Sadly, I didn't. And this is The Rage of Dragons. It is a book that I can see why it would be amazing. It has an amazing depiction of grief and revenge and vengeance and all that kind of juicy stuff. I just felt that that kind of swallowed the book and there was not much else that I could glean from it apart from this overpowering constant vengeance that was just, I think, a little bit too much for me. Like, there is vengeance and there just needs to be something else going on in the background, and I didn't feel like that. Like, I don't know, there was just something off. I didn't click with it. I didn't connect with the character. It was also very war focused and battle focused, which is something I appreciate in a fantasy when it's there. I don't like it if it's the entire book, which this was. It pretty much was the entire book. I like a little bit more friendships going on, a little bit more character driven things going on, you know, in the background, a little bit mix up in there. So I just didn't really enjoy it, but many people rave about this. Many people absolutely adored this. If it sounds like something you're interested in, definitely go for it. The next book I have is not necessarily a book I disliked. I just didn't love it again as much as I was hoping to. And this is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I love most of Leigh Bardugo's books, except for her most early ones, in the Siege and Storm, that kind of series. Six of Crows duology is one of my favourite books and series, duologies, whatever, of all time. I loved it, but Ninth House, I don't think it was quite for me. I think there is going to be another book. It's a duology. I'm interested to see how it goes. It's dark academia, which is another genre I want to read more of. It was the first book I think I've read in dark academia, and only book. I don't think I've read one since. So maybe that's why. Maybe I'm just not accustomed to the genre. But I just didn't love it. Like, I didn't really like the storyline that much. I just didn't root for the characters, didn't connect to any of the characters. I was a bit confused by it. The random paranormal things coming into it was a bit too random for me. Yeah, I don't really know. It was just a little bit off for me and it just seemed random. Urban fantasy is another one that I haven't read much of and one I don't tend to get on with because I just kind of can't connect our real life with these random magic elements that just seem to be like thrown in there that don't really have a big impact on the world. Like, I don't get it. If there was magic and all that in this world, surely everyone would know about it because they would be more powerful than us. So everyone would know about magic. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if the world is exactly the same as it is now, but there's magic, it doesn't make sense because it wouldn't be. It just wouldn't be. Maybe I'm in denial, but I just don't think it would be. So I struggle with that kind of aspects of it and just connecting them all together, which is why it's not my favourite book. Well, it's on this list of disappointing books. The next book, again, is one that I overhyped in my head and I have to stop doing that, and that is Criers War. This was loved by everyone and it sounded exactly like what I wanted. It was a female-female romance set in a fantasy world. It was what I wanted to read at that moment in time. I think the writing, so I always feel really bad about this, but the writing just wasn't to the level that I would have liked it to be. There was just something that kind of kept throwing me out of the story. It was getting really annoying because I really liked the storyline, but I just couldn't get into it because of the writing style, and I don't know why. I haven't read or seen many other people saying that they had a similar thing, so it could just be me. I could just be very picky with that. There were quite a few books that I read at that time where the writing, I think, I did not like and didn't get on with. I think I will continue the series, but maybe wait until I can rent the other one from the library or something. I don't know if I will personally buy it myself. I don't know. Sorry, I know people love that book. The next one is also one of my most anticipated releases, so that is why I think I disliked it. And there was a promise made to me that I think it failed on. It was kind of like promised as like similar to Six of Crows, and when someone says that, I immediately think it's going to be like the friendship kind of thing, not necessarily the heist. This was the Heist. So I was looking for like a found family, amazing friendships, banter, comedy, and that wasn't in the book. It was more of a heist kind of aspect, and there was getting points to it, points where the kind of joking and friendship things were coming, but they were very brief, very fleeting, and mainly at the end, which is fine because there were more books to come. I just hope the next books have more of that, because that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want from this series. But I think the storyline was good, and I did read it very quickly. Like, you could consume it very quickly. The writing style was just very consumable. That was good. Aspects of it, I didn't enjoy aspects of it. I just overhyped it in my head, which I should not do ever again, because this leads to videos like this. Which also leads me on to the 5th book and final book that I have in this list. Whoopsie, sorry about that. And that is The Bear and the Nightingale. People love this book. People do. And I tried reading it twice. I read it the first time, I really didn't like it. Got about 50 pages in, thought it was really boring, thought the main character was really annoying, so I put it down, didn't pick it up for like 2 years. Then I picked it up again and I fell in love with it. I absolutely loved the start of it again, weirdly, the bit I hated before, I absolutely loved. I thought the main character was not annoying, but actually really resilient and really strong and interesting. And then about halfway through, it just, I don't know, I just lost it. I lost my love for it. It just petered out, and I just didn't enjoy it anymore. People say to carry on with the series. I think I will. I think it's all in paperback now, or should all be coming out in paperback, which is what I'll continue reading it on. And it's a little bit cheaper, a little bit nicer on the purse, especially if I'm not going to enjoy it. But I think there was a lot of setup in the beginning, and I might need a refresher actually to continue, because I don't really know what it was about. But it was a lot of setup, and there were tense moments. I just want a little bit more of them, and I'm interested to see how they go. So I am intrigued by it. I was just disappointed by it as well. You know, what can you do? Sometimes that happens, you know? So those are my top 5 most disappointing books in 2020. Obviously, they're not terrible books. I would not dissuade anyone. Dissuade? Is that a word? I'm gonna roll with it. I would not dissuade anyone to not read these books. And if they are your favourite books, please let me know, because I would love to know that these books are loved by other people, which I know they are anyway. But don't you find that when you hear someone dislikes your favourite book, you just feel so sad because you want them to love it as much as you did? I get that. I get that a lot. So, yes. Let me know what your most disappointing books were last year, and why they were your most disappointing books from last year, because I think that's very key. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see another video by myself. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you did like the video, and I shall see you in another one very soon.